Welcome to What's Hot in UAE, your go-to online magazine for all things cool in our cities. Whether you're a fan of massive concerts, exclusive sneaker drops, buzzing nightlife, the latest in crypto trends, or the latest in lifestyle, we've got you covered. From the hottest events to the coolest hidden gems, we bring you the inside scoop on everything happening in the scene. So, let's dive into some of what's happening this week right here on What's Hot in UAE. Let's get started.
Buckle up, listeners. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the electric vehicle scene in the UAE. And let me tell you, it's a wild ride.
It's fascinating, isn't it? This region, known for its love of luxury cars and, well, oil, is going full speed ahead with electric.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to outdo everyone.
Yeah.
So I went through this report you sent on the rise of EVs over there. Things are changing fast. What's behind this electric revolution?
A major driving force is the UAE's goal to hit net zero emissions by 2050.
That's ambitious, especially for a country so connected to oil.
Exactly. And transportation is a huge part of that. They're really betting big on EVs to cut down emissions.
Yep.
But it's not just about buying electric cars. They're changing the whole game.
Okay, now you've got me intrigued. How are they changing the game?
Well, take Dubai, for instance. They launched this thing called the Dubai Green Mobility Strategy 2030. The goal, to have at least 10% of all government vehicles be electric or hybrid by 2030.
That's a huge chunk of their fleet. But what about the rest of us? What's going to make regular people switch?
Incentives, my friend. They're offering some pretty sweet deals. Think no more select tolls, free parking, that sort of thing.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. Suddenly going electric sounds pretty appealing. But is there even enough infrastructure, like charging stations?
Dubai's Electricity and Water Authority, DEWA, is all over it. They've already put up over 350 charging stations across Dubai, and the number just keeps growing.
That's reassuring for anyone worried about running out of juice. But it sounds like Dubai might be pulling ahead. What about Abu Dhabi? Are they keeping up?
Oh, absolutely. Abu Dhabi's got his own plan, the EV infrastructure plan. They're investing a ton in building out a network of charging stations across the Emirates.
So it's like a friendly competition there. Who can become the EV capital of the UAE?
You could say that. This competition is actually great for everyone. It pushes innovation and, hopefully, means better prices down the line. But it's not all on the government. The private sector's stepping up too, making electric vehicles more accessible.
Oh yeah, the cars themselves. Let's talk about what's cruising around the UAE.
Well, we can't talk EVs without mentioning Tesla.
True, Tesla's practically synonymous with electric cars, especially somewhere like the UAE that loves luxury and the latest tech.
Exactly. They've made their cars these objects of desire, almost status symbols, as much as they are vehicles.
Yeah, seeing a Tesla on the road is like, whoa, the future is here. So, which Tesla models are the big hits in the UAE?
Model S and Model X are super popular. Luxury, performance, all that Tesla tech everyone's after.
Right. And don't forget the Model 3, a little easier on the wallet for those of us who haven't hit tech CEO status.
Exactly. They've got a model for everyone. But Tesla's smart. They didn't just bring the cars, they brought their supercharger network too.
That's a game changer. Range anxiety is a real thing, so having those chargers everywhere makes a huge difference. But it's not just the Tesla show, is it? I read Lucid Motors is also making waves in the luxury market.
Ah, yes. Lucid Motors. Their Lucid Air model is really shaking things up.
It's a stunning car, I have to say. What makes it so special?
Well, on top of its looks and incredible range, they've gone above and beyond to create this really luxurious experience, even compared to those traditional luxury brands.
So it's Tesla versus Lucid for the luxury EV crown.
And you know what? The real winners are the drivers. All this competition is going to lead to some serious innovation, maybe even better prices down the road. But hey, we can't forget about the old guard.
You're right, those German automakers aren't just going to wave the white flag.
Nope, not a chance. Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, they're all here and they're bringing their best.
So it's not enough to just be electric, you got to be electric and luxurious.
Exactly, and they know their strengths. The Audi e-tron, the BMW iX, the Mercedes-Benz EQC, these cars are making a statement. They're not just joining the EV party, they're here to run the show.
It's a whole new level of prestige.
Yeah.
But with all this talk about luxury, are there any options for the, let's say, more budget-conscious among us?
Of course. Nissan and Renault are making EVs for everyone.
So there's hope for us regular folks to go electric after all. What kind of cars are we talking about here?
Well, Nissan has their Leaf, a real workhorse, super reliable and practical, and Renault has the Zoe, compact, stylish, perfect for city driving.
It's great to see options at different price points. makes electric vehicles attainable for more people. But no matter how fancy or affordable the car is, it all comes down to one thing: charging.
Couldn't agree more. You need a solid charging network or the whole system falls apart.
It's like having a race car with nowhere to fuel up. So we talked about DWA and Dubai. What about the rest of the UAE? What's happening with charging infrastructure there?
Well, Abu Dhabi's in the game too. They're putting serious money into expanding their charging network, especially in places like Masdar City.
Masdar City, the sustainability poster child.
Exactly. They're all about testing out new transportation solutions, including electric vehicles.
So it sounds like the UAE is firing on all cylinders, pun intended,
Yeah.
when it comes to EVs. But what's next? What does the future hold for electric vehicles in the UAE?
All signs point to a bright electric future. The UAE is clearly committed to sustainability, and their EV strategy is a perfect example. They're not just dipping their toes in the water, they're diving in head first.
It's not just talk either. They're backing it up with real action. Government incentives, charging stations everywhere, more and more EVs to choose from. It really feels like they're trying to make electric the new normal.
They are, and don't forget about consumer demand. More and more people are interested in EVs, and not just for the environmental benefits. The performance, the tech, the style, it's all very appealing.
It's the perfect storm. Government support, consumer interest, and a rapidly developing infrastructure. This is going to be very interesting to watch unfold.
Definitely. The UAE is becoming a global leader in sustainable transportation, and the world is taking notice.
It's exciting to see this transformation happening right before our eyes. To all our listeners out there, keep an eye on the UAE. They're not just keeping up with the electric vehicle revolution, they're leading it.
I couldn't agree more. This is just the beginning of their journey toward a greener future, and it's a story worth following.
We've talked about the government's plans, the luxury car makers, the more affordable options, and of course the charging situation.
And what's so interesting is how it's all connected.
Right. It's not just about having electric cars. It's about creating an environment where they can really take off.
And that's where the UAE's approach is working so well. They're investing in the whole picture, charging stations, incentives, to make the switch to electric as easy as possible.
It's like watching the electric future being built right in front of us. But knowing the UAE, they're probably already thinking way ahead. What's the next big thing for them in this electric revolution?
Keep an eye on self-driving cars. The UAE loves innovation, and they're already exploring autonomous driving tech.
Wow, next level. Imagine just hopping into a driverless electric taxi to get across town. That's a whole new world of transportation.
Exactly, and it fits perfectly with their goal of building these futuristic, sustainable cities. And we can't forget about renewable energy. As the UAE switches to solar and other clean energy sources, EVs become even greener.
It's like everything's connected. One sustainable choice leads to another.
Exactly, and that's what makes the UAE so fascinating. They're not just adding electric vehicles to the mix, they're making them a core part of their future.
It's inspiring to see a country embrace change with so much energy and vision. For our listeners, if you're curious about the future of transportation, pay attention to the UAE.
I agree. They're leading the way, and what they're doing today is going to shape how we all get around for years to come.
It reminds us that the future is full of possibilities. If you can dream it, you can achieve it.
Well said. I think we've covered a lot of ground today. It's been great discussing this with you.
It has. And for you, dear listener, here's something to think about as you go about your day. Imagine a world with cleaner air, quieter streets, and cars powered by the sun. That's the future the UAE is working towards, and it's something to get excited about. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the things that spark your curiosity.